Hey, what's up? Welcome back to another edition of the Mandatory Post Fight Live. Remember, if you like the content, make sure to hit that like and subscribe button. You can also follow us on our social media channels. You'll see on the screen, if you're watching this on YouTube, the ways that you can connect with us, or you can also look in the description below if you're listening to this on the audio side. And yeah, we're going to be breaking down the fight. We're going to be talking about the card. So this is an interactive show. If you have any comments, please drop them in the chat. But Anthony Joshua gets it done against Jake Paul. He knocks him out in the 6th round, a lot later than a lot of people may have expected. But he gets the knockout. But I think the bigger storyline was that even an entertaining bout? That's what I want to know. Bryan, you're already laughing. You're already smiling if you're watching this on YouTube. What were your thoughts about what we just saw?
First of all, I don't like making this about me, but I just want to tell y'all, did not get my rounds 1 to 4 bet, but I did get the knockout bet, which admittedly was juiced, and
Mhm.
I bet a lot of money on it for my standards. So Anthony Joshua hooked it up, which was not a smart bet, but I felt very confident that he would get this done. Anyway, please drop comments throughout. We're gonna talk about this. That was a circus, Chantel. We
Mhm.
expected some sort of a circus, but I didn't quite. You and I knew about and touched on, and probably could have talked more about the ring, the actual ring, not 20 by 20, not standard, not small like some of the way the Tim Zoo rings look in Australia. This was a big ring. It was like reportedly 22 by 22, height and width, length and width, I suppose. And Jake Paul tried to use every corner of this from the jump. Like I don't know. I was like, man, he don't really want to fight. Like he wants to like say he fought and fight. And look, I'll give Jake Paul credit for like getting in there and doing,
Yeah.
doing this and all those different things. But come on, man. Like Anthony Joshua, I understand he should have gotten him out of there sooner, but I do put some blame on not even just Jake Paul, but the referee
Mhm.
for just it was one of the worst displays of refereeing that I've seen in a high profile boxing match this year, if not longer.
No, I agree. I thought honestly, it was just a bunch of trash the whole entire fight. Like there was just falling onto the canvas. It was I mean, this this was kind of a joke to me. It ended up being a fight that was not entertaining. I think we all won our bet, and I won a bet too as well. AG getting the knockout,
I
and
had the
also
AJ knockout Anderson Silva parlay
yeah,
also that hit. I didn't get the early knockouts though, but whatever. Two plus
I
knockdowns though hit.
yeah no. But nonetheless, this was a fight for Jake Paul that was a real fight against Anthony Joshua. Now, was it a real fight in the ring? No, I thought it was a bunch of buffoonery. Like the stuff that was going on in the ring was so stupid. And
Wow.
it made the fight why? What's up?
Okay, she lost.
Yeah, they did. Anthony Edwards hit like a crazy tray to kind of seal the deal.
Chris
And
Finch avenged. Anyway,
yeah.
you were saying sorry about
Well,
that.
I forgot now. So why don't you
You
take
were
it
getting
away?
pissed. You were pissed off about how Jake Paul was holding, falling.
I just don't think it was an entertaining fight. And I think I'm
I agree.
disappointed in the fact that Anthony Joshua let it get to 6 rounds. Like, what are we doing here?
Every
Like,
time Jake Paul cut off, excuse me. Every time Anthony Joshua cut off the ring, Jake Paul just fell or
yeah,
held. And this is what I'm saying. It's like the referee has to, at some point, like, we all watch boxing here. You take away a point when there's excessive holding, or in the event that someone continues to throw themselves to the ground. Like, that's a disqualifiable offense. I don't know if disqualifiable is a word, but we'll roll
yeah.
with it. Like, like these are things that I'm looking at. And then, Chantel, remember it was like round 4 or whatever it was, that round 4 or 5 where Jake Paul gets time to
Yeah,
recover.
and
What
then
was that?
they did the replay and it wasn't even a low blow.
It wasn't anything.
They were saying that maybe he got hit down there when by AJ's knee when he landed. I don't know, but he never there was no low blow in that and he took time. I just thought this whole thing was a joke. Like I'm extremely disappointed in anyone. I think anyone that went to that fight is extremely disappointed because Alycia Baumgardner's fight was a snooze fest.
Mm.
Don't even get me started on that. You know, I don't know if even this card was very entertaining, but I think we all thought Anthony Joshua was gonna. I thought he was gonna knock Jake Paul out cold. Like even the knockout wasn't memorable. Like
Well,
at this point, I'm just like AJ. Like don't even come back because that was a terrible performance by Anthony Joshua. I don't even care how long his layoff was.
So you're out on Anthony Joshua versus Tyson Fury.
I mean, I would still watch it because I think it's a moneymaker. But just from what I saw from Anthony Joshua, like he didn't look good. How you gonna let Jake Paul go 6 rounds with you?
The
That's
undercard,
ridiculous.
I thought the undercard was good. By undercard, I mean literally before the main card. Although I thought Jamal Harvey was good,
Yeah.
and Anderson Silva was entertaining. So everything before Alycia Baumgardner, I thought was good. Like the Cherneka Johnson fight, the
Hmm.
Yokasta Valle fight was fucking action packed. Caroline Dubois looks great, and I saw a bunch of y'all on Twitter saying you think Caroline Dubois is gonna beat Alycia Baumgardner,
I
and
do.
count me in.
Yeah.
Ryan, right on cue. Side
Yeah.
note, we don't want to jump around too much, but Dubois might whoop Baumgartner. We'll get to that.
Yeah.
And chat, I'll post some comments. I'll just say this real quick. Yeah, I think Chris Young is, by the way, the name of the referee, who refereed the main event between Jake Paul and Anthony Joshua. He also did the Avius Griffin fight early on the card. He didn't have to do much because that was a first round knockout. I don't not want to see Anthony Joshua again. I did sense his frustration, and it kind of felt like, hey, this is how you fought Daniel Dubois. Like you kind of just want to land the big shot and not really set up too much. But it was frustrating because also Jake Paul is just kind of moving around, and at some point, again, the referee has to step in and be like, "Yo, you gonna box or like, what are you gonna do?" And if you're holding so much, like it's just I don't know. I know referees don't want to get involved. They don't want to make
Yeah.
themselves a story, but like ultimately it is a boxing match. I'm not even going to say it's a fight. It's a boxing match. And you
Hmm.
need two people to box. You know what I mean? Like this felt now you're in a way Paul Butler-ish at times. And that took now you're in a way 11 rounds. Like there's only but so much you could do if the other person doesn't want to fight. Like engage, I should say.
Hmm.
Um I do give credit to Jake Paul for like stepping into the ring, but I don't give credit for like the performance itself. And
Yeah.
also him and sidebar, because you and I care about music and entrances and things of that nature. Freeway, thumbs up, Anthony Joshua. Takashi 6ix9ine and
No,
Jake Paul,
boo.
they're made for each other. They're so made for each
I
other.
think Jake could have got someone better though.
Of course. Of
Like, why
course.
would you go get 6'9"? That was at first I was like 6'9" looks a little bit different from a few years ago, and I was like, who's that? I must be old. And then I looked at him like, oh, it's 6'9". This is terrible. Anyways, I think everything about the main event was terrible. I think I don't care to see Anthony Joshua back in the ring because that was a terrible performance by Anthony Joshua. If he fights Tyson Fury, like I'm gonna take Fury. So like after what I
I
saw
probably am
tonight,
too. Yeah.
and at the same time, like they can make that fight, it'll be big. They could do it at Wembley. It could be a chapter that they close for, heavyweights from the UK and that whole entire era. I'd be down to see it, but I was just extremely disappointed in everything that I saw tonight. And I don't have much else to say about it except for sorry to anyone that bought a ticket to
Yeah.
go to that fight because it was brutal. That was a terrible display for boxing. I think things like this is what gives those prize fights a terrible name and a stench. Like it just wasn't good. Like props to Jake for getting in the ring. Props to Jake for landing a big right on Anthony Joshua. But come on, man. This is what a waste of my Friday night. Like I wish I
I
never saw that. I wish I was watching the Minnesota OKC game instead on the
how,
big screen. Like
how's Alabama doing against
they
Oklahoma?
won. They won.
Oh, no surprise.
And you know what?
Um
But before we go, there were a bunch of Notre Dame fans because Oklahoma was up in that game early, and they were
mm,
like, "Oh, like and Alabama got in, boom, yeah, Alabama got in." I hate Notre Dame fans; they are so annoying. Go cry somewhere else. Like,
you and I like the convict side of Catholics versus convicts, which is the
no, it's
name
just
of the rivalry between Miami and Notre Dame. For people who don't know, we're not actually saying like anything
yes,
inflammatory. That's like the
no,
name. Let's get to some comments because there are a bunch. Too much fitness. First in the chat, let's go. Salute to you. Caught us live this week and caught us live again. TJ Strickland says, "What's up?" Too much fitness also adds. It's like watching Rocky chasing a chicken.
Yeah.
Anthony did what he's supposed to do. TJ says Foxy checks in from the UK. Won my bet. Damn, you're awake. What time is it over there? 6:30 a.m. Salute to you. Won my bet. Had rounds 6 through 7. Jesus, you probably got
Ooh.
a juicy number at that 700, 800 or something like that.
Congrats. That's great.
Yeah, I knew Jake was gonna run and
Yeah.
AJ wasn't gonna go crazy early. I thought he'd get him by round 4.
Yeah.
But it is what it is. Osman, we haven't seen him in a while. What's going on? Jake Paul knocked out. Now I need Andrew Tate to get cooked tomorrow to make my year. Facts. Absolutely. Could not agree more. Honestly, that's one of the best comments we've gotten in a long time. Thank you for that. Can't stand Andrew Tate. Anyway, Foxy
Yeah.
says, hopefully we never see this type of nonsense again. We
I'm with
will.
that. Yeah.
I think Jake Paul will be back, unfortunately. um, this is more of a letdown than the Cena retirement match. I agree. I don't think the Cena retirement match was a letdown. I think a lot of people just have to realize like wrestling is wrestling. Wrestling's supposed to piss you off sometimes. And if Gunther
Yeah.
becomes like a savage heel and becomes a champion after a while or starts destroying other legends, that's fine. I think that's totally fine. Yeah, a bit of wrestling talk there for some of y'all. I didn't hate the ending as much. 47 Dark Hounds says that was pathetic. I'm just gonna read everybody's comment. Osman
No,
says, "Do
yeah.
you think Canelo beats Jake before five rounds?"
No. I don't think so. I think he just no, I don't think so.
No.
I'm just so sick of this. I'm like so mad. This is what I did on this Friday night. I'm like, you know what I mean? Like, why? I
You know
never
what
get a
that
night
means?
off.
You know what
I
that means?
never get a night off.
No,
Like,
one, same. Two, that means you love yourself. That means you want better things to do with
I
your
do.
time.
This is like the worst thing I've done all year.
At least we're doing a show and getting content out of
That's
it.
true. That's true. Sorry that I'm so negative, everyone that's in the chat and watching
But
this. I just can't believe I wasted a Friday night watching that, Like I could have did something. So now I'm just like, why did I do this to myself? At least it was free. You know what I mean?
I mean, we're
At
paying
least
for
it was
Netflix, but I
free.
get it. Not pay-per-view.
Yeah, exactly. So that's that in hindsight. I'll never get that time back ever in my life.
Foxy says, I know it's not legal, but definitely think something was in the contract for Jake not to get totally taken out. I know people joke that it's rigged and these things. I legitimately don't think it is. I just think Jake Paul does Jake Paul things and other people are just like, what am I supposed to do with this? Like Anthony Josh was like, okay, he's just gonna like, I don't think Anthony Josh was like purposely like you could say he was going easy on him, sure.
Yeah.
I think that's more so from the standpoint of like trying to figure him out those first couple rounds. Maybe I'm giving him too much credit, but I don't think I don't think the contracts are that nefarious, at least as it pertains to this. Now, you want to talk about nefarious decisions, you know, there could be some of those, but
Mm-hmm.
I don't think the contracts have that written in them. But maybe I'm being naive, and usually I'm cynical about those things, so I usually am right there with you. Dubois might whoop Baumgardner. Oh yeah, I said we'll get to that in a second. My bad. Jake ran, unlike Ngannou, who wanted to fight, and Ngannou paid the price for it. By the way, if I'm Jake, why not fight Francis Ngannou?
Might as well. Like, yeah, go ahead, fight him. We'll all like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm so sick of this stuff. Like after tonight, I'm sick of it. And I give Jake credit for getting into the ring with AJ, for taking some big shots. I mean, he did take some big hits, but it was just like the falling on the canvas and like the holding and the refereeing was bad. Like it wasn't a good fight. Were you entertained at all, Bryan?
The moments where Anthony Joshua like had him in the corner and was actually throwing before he inevitably got clinched. That's when I was up. I was like, come on, because I
Yeah.
wanted to win my bet. Sorry. Osman says boxing heavyweights are not good. Usyk's record's getting downgraded. I'm not gonna be that dramatic about it, but to be fair, I think we would all acknowledge Usyk beat a better version of Anthony Joshua.
I don't even know what version this is of Anthony Joshua. I don't know what this is. This is
Daniel Dubois version.
Listen, I know our good friend TJ said, I believe he said AJ did what he was supposed to do, but no, I think he should have been knocked out cold. Like this is an AJ that has been known for his power at times. It was like raw power.
Yeah.
And this wasn't good. Like this wasn't even a good knockout. Like I was watching it and I was like, that was the knockout. It's what I stayed home for. I've been waiting for this moment for a long time. You know what I mean? For like someone to go in there and knock out Jake Paul. Not that I don't like, I do appreciate him as a businessman and everything he's done for women's boxing. Like, you got to give him props for that. But
Sure.
this is Anthony Joshua, former world heavyweight champion.
Multiple times unified.
Yes. Like, what is going on here? This is terrible for boxing. I think Anthony Joshua should be embarrassed. Anyways, let's move on. Do you have anything else to say? What do you like?
I don't think you're wrong about. No, I was thinking about that. I was like, yeah, I think I agree. I probably not. No, you're right.
He should be embarrassed. What is this?
No, you're right. He
couldn't even cut off the ring against Jake Paul.
Especially as two people who thought he would get him out of there sooner. I mean, look, to be fair, I do think there were times he cut off the ring and then the referee just allowed Jake Paul to just throw himself on the ground, Jeff Van Gundy style, and just grab Anthony Joshua's leg. He had a couple single leg takedowns also. And it's like, ref, like, discipline, like, please, we're trying to watch the actual fight here.
Listen, I'll say this.
Yeah,
I don't think that it was rigged, but if I am betting, right, like, I don't know, I think everything at this point needs to be investigated. You know, why was Chet Holmgren not playing in the third? You know what I mean? Why? Why? Like, his PRA was like 20.5. He didn't even get into the fourth. And you know what? Jordan Walsh was benched for the entire fourth quarter today, and he would have hit his PRA. And I'm like, this needs to be investigated. Anthony Joshua just went 6 rounds with Jake Paul. This needs to be investigated. I wonder if there were a lot of overs taken for 4.5. Just saying.
There were a lot of bets coming in on Jake Paul specifically. Overs, I don't know, but there was reportedly 95%, 90% of bets on Jake Paul, and DraftKings reportedly, according to somebody that I work with at Action, said.
Brian, wait, hold up. Look at this comment. You could respond to Afro Soul here.
Shantelle, you never box for like. That is not true.
Yeah, if anyone's come on here and seen me come on with the red eye,
that is not true. She actually actively does this even to this day. I do, although I don't spar nearly as much. I don't think you should spar that much because you're on TV more than I am.
Yes, I know.
And I'd be on camera, but yeah, no, both of us do. Yeah, we get busy. I have film. I can get it at some point, but you know.
Whatever. Yeah, just saying. So Afro Soul, no, you're wrong. So
I'm not telling you I'm beating Jake Paul or anything like that. Although you could probably find a can in my weight class. It's like 0-4. Been knocked out 4 times, all in the first round from like, you know, somewhere international. Like, you could probably find somebody I could take care of them.
Okay. Anyway. Yes. Just saying. Just had to clear that up because Afro Soul was spewing out facts that weren't real. So when you do that, you got to get called out. Afro Soul, sorry. You're still a friend of the show.
Shantelle is a very much an inside fighter. I'll give you the scouting report. Inside fighter. Loves. She's a body snatcher, as a matter of fact. And doesn't love defense is what I'll say.
Yeah, if you've been on the show and you've seen me here with the red eye, which has happened a few times, it's literally because there's barely any defense and I can't fight off the back foot. Okay, so let's get back.
And I would just say, just quick scouting report on me. I'm cagey. I move around a lot. Not as much as Jake Paul did today. Counter puncher and a little more slick. I enjoy defense, probably too much, but anyway, that's neither here nor there. Okay, there's a scouting report. We'll post some videos at some point. Al the Pal checks in, about time. Catch y'all live again. Slalome, I think I'm saying your name right.
Yeah, boxers can bet on themselves, right? AJ was wearing a Poly Market chain.
I've thought about this.
Oh, interesting.
I've thought about this. I think they can. The sport is kind of the Wild West, so I'm not even sure how many people are checking on this.
Mm-hmm.
And I've thought about this. If I were a boxer, I would 1000% bet on myself. But I would try not to bet on myself to win by knockout unless I really was convinced it was going to happen, just because, you know, that can fuck with your game plan.
Yeah. But also, if you're Anthony Joshua and you know you can knock out Jake Paul. And that it's not like we're spreading rumors here, but if I was Anthony Joshua, I'd be like, I wonder what the odds are on this. I'm gonna bet $1 million on over 4.5 rounds. Or I don't know, like I'm just saying something stupid, right? But yeah, I wasn't very entertained for this fight.
Afrososis, he was trying to run his way to the final bell. Al the Palaces got paid for a lot of fake sparring, rigged to an extent. Lawrence Okolie. I feel like pulling up Lawrence Okolie was talking about how impressed he was with Jake Paul, and people were just making fun of him, being like, he's just casually admitting that he sucks. Like that Lawrence Okolie sucks because it's like he was wowed by Jake Paul and sparring or whatever. And I do wonder those sparring sessions. And like what's really going on. I kind of just want to
Yeah.
look at some tweets. Like I just kind of just want to pull up some tweets because there's some fun stuff. We'll do that in a sec. I'll bookmark a bunch, see where we come to. I think we'll get to a couple more comments here, then we can move on. Foxy, enjoy the earlier fights on YouTube more than a Netflix card. I agree. Good to see Yokasta Valle. I was upset that she was before nighttime.
She was so early, dude. I wasn't even able to catch it. She was too early. She was like 3 o'clock here on the West Coast.
So Omi says, I'm disappointed it wasn't a clean Pacquiao Marquez
No,
knockout. That's what you wanted. That's what you wanted.
That's why I'm disappointed because it wasn't even a clean knockout. Like, what type of knockout was that? That wasn't a statement knockout. So I don't know. I'm just upset that I stayed home for this. But nonetheless, I get to hang out with all of y'all for the post-fight show. Bryan, should we get to some more comments before we get to Alycia Baumgardner?
Yes. Clancy Young checks in for the first time. Welcome. Glancing blows and win knocked Paul out. Somebody tweeted out, it was John Nash, who I've had on my YouTube channel before, who covers a lot of the Alycia stuff. You should follow him for that. He said that Jake Paul might actually get knocked out by just cardio before.
And he was gassed, yo. He was gassed. And I think that was kind of the funny part. Like he looked like he ran 5K or something like that. You know what I mean? Like he was tired. You could tell from all that running around.
Yo, he was tired in the Mike Tyson fight in the 3rd round. Like Mike Tyson wasn't / couldn't really do much because he nearly died before that fight. He was damn near 60. And Jake Paul was moving around the ring and he was trying to box and he was really respecting Mike Tyson's power, whatever he had left of it. And remember, we were like, yo, it's round 3. Why is he already like sucking wind mad hard? Like he just ran an 800 meter.
Yeah, it's wild. I'll say that much. But
AJ's footwork was bad. He was crossing his feet a lot. Fury's footwork will give him trouble. We should talk about this first. Yes. Because this is on the docket. They want Tyson Fury next. And what's been reported is that I don't know why the Saudis are doing this, but reportedly they're both going to have tune-up fights. Anthony Joshua's might be in February, somebody put out there. But tune-up fights were like, he fights February, Tyson Fury fights in April. This was on Uncrowned. I saw this on Yahoo. And that they would circle back and fight each other, AJ and Tyson Fury, later in the year. And Eddie Hearn basically said, like, yeah, they want Tyson Fury next. And everyone's circling this fight. And we learned with Anthony Joshua and Deontay Wilder before, the tune-ups are pretty risky. So I'm going to toss all that to you while I find some other comments that we could post on the show. Your thoughts on that are what? Like, in general?
I mean, sure. I don't think I want to see Anthony Joshua fight again unless it's Tyson Fury, but I can understand that if there's a lot riding on that fight. I think money-wise, it's going to be a massive fight. And hey, if both those guys want to have tune-ups before they fight each other, sure. But I would rather get AJ and Fury before getting tune-up fights for them. But this is just a way that they're going to build up the fight. And hey, I'm okay with that. If they're going to do that. If they're going to make it, storylines aside, I think there's already storylines for the fight. So that would kind of be, I'm okay with it. Do you want to see a tune-up Anthony Joshua fight? Was this not a tune-up? Like, I don't understand.
Right. Tyson Fury retired, so he needs a tune-up fight. I just Why?
Just fight.
It's
You
look.
know, wait, you know what? Now let's do Deontay Wilder and Anthony Joshua. Now is the time to do that fight because AJ did not look good in this fight, y'all. Okay, let's make the fight. That's the fight to make.
Now we're
Deontay
fucking
Wilder
talking.
and Anthony Joshua. And I'm going to be honest with you. I might take Deontay Wilder in that fight after what I saw tonight.
2017, 18, 19, 20, 21. Like I was Deontay Wilder. I was taking him in an Anthony Joshua fight. I'm less confident in that now, but because Deontay Wilder looked like shit we talked about this last fight of June, he looked terrible. But he didn't fight Jake Paul. And to be honest with you, I half expect, because this has been rumored, Jake Paul versus Deontay Wilder.
Yeah, let's do it.
Deontay Wilder should just fight one of these dudes, basically.
Yeah, that's pretty much what I'm saying. You can make both of those fights. And if Anthony Joshua wants to have Deontay Wilder as a tune-up, it's a top tune-up, even though Deontay Wilder looked terrible. But now I'm just like, Anthony Joshua looked terrible, and why not? Why not have Deontay Wilder fight Jake Paul? And what's next for Jake Paul? I think Deontay Wilder or Francis Ngannou.
Or he just fights one of the YouTubers or like just another former MMA fighter. I don't even know who at this point.
Yeah.
But you know, I could also see that happening. I don't know, man. It's just ridiculous. Okay. We should pivot.
Yes, because I don't want to talk about this ever again. That was terrible. I'm sorry, guys. I'm in a bad mood after staying home on a Friday night watching that. I don't know why. It just that was terrible. Okay, let's get to this. What is this? Is this the knockout?
This is when Jake Paul broke his jaw. If you remember, because Jake Paul said he had a broken jaw in this fight, which I thought was interesting. The moment he broke his jaw, he got a reality check. Someone said this is when Jake Paul, when it's time to box somebody below the age of 50 who's actually a boxer. Is this Kirk Cousins' body?
I don't know. It looks like it, right?
Dang. And then there's this. Chris Eubanks Jr. Regardless of the outcome, Jake Paul got into the ring with an Olympic gold medalist and former heavyweight world champion.
It's true.
And tried his best until the very end. You have to give that man his respect now. He's done what most would never, and he never give up. Never give up. Or he didn't give up, whatever, who cares? Chris Eubanks Jr., I don't think MVP is looking to hire you, but, you know, congrats. Here's someone flagged him for unnecessary dick riding. I get it, but also I don't know if he needs to put over Jake Paul to that degree. And then we have Ishe Smith, former IBF junior middleweight champion. Jake Paul is a bitch. Get your bag and shut the fuck up from now on, running around the ring like a bitch.
That's and I knew this.
Smith said.
So before the fight started, I hit up Bryan really quick. I was like, I think Jake's going to run a lot. And you said, yeah, he's probably going to run a lot in this fight. He was moving around the ring a lot in this fight. And
more than we thought, admittedly, or more than I thought, at least.
Well, he was falling down on the canvas more than I thought. Like, I don't know what was going on. I was like, what's this effery going on in the ring? Like, it was the reffing was bad. It was just terrible altogether. But we should move on now to Alycia Baumgardner.
Yes, Alycia Baumgardner. Continuing fights. Shantelle, you were not happy with this one either. So I think the Jake Paul Anthony Joshua fight got some residual reaction from this fight, along with everything else you saw there. So take it away, because I know you were less than impressed.
Well, I just thought the fight was a snooze fest. That's the only way to put it. Alycia Baumgardner, when you think about how much cachet she has around her name, and remember, before then, a little bit of her name was tainted because of the PEDs that was found in her system, where she got her own testing done. And I don't really know what happened after that. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just going to keep it real. And she comes into the ring today. This is a big fight they've been hyping up. I thought it'd be a little bit of a tougher test. She did win rounds consecutively, right? Like, she put on a solid performance, but it wasn't an entertaining performance. And if you're going to have that superstar type of cachet, you need to put on a performance for the fans. And I don't think she did. And I think if she's going to fight Dubois, I'm probably going to rock with Dubois after what I saw. So, Bryan, what were your thoughts?
We did have a couple comments about that, as mentioned earlier. So I came on here and I said I thought Alycia Baumgardner got favorable judging in her last fight. So let's actually pull that up. So she wins this fight going away. 117, 110 is what I had it. I gave Layla 3 rounds, which was probably generous. She earned two,
Yeah.
maybe three at absolute most. I thought the judging was good. Well done. The Jennifer Miranda fight I thought was way disrespectful judging. She did not look good in that fight.
Yeah.
Alycia Baumgardner didn't. Jennifer Miranda, like her movement was her timing was just keeping Alycia Baumgardner off balance. She was getting hit with a lot of jabs. She was getting hit with some straight right hands. The movement in general, like Alycia Baumgardner looked too flat-footed at times in there, and then at other times, Jennifer Miranda, who didn't have knockout power, was really pushing the issue, was really pressing the issue there, and getting inside and being crafty and creative, getting in and out at perfect times. And to me, I remember coming away from that fight where I was like, "Yo, this is a draw." Or
Hmm.
maybe she even won, but I was like, they're not going to give it to her. And then they gave it to Alycia Baumgardner wide. Uh 98, 92 twice and a 97, 93. Miranda got jobbed in that fight. And honestly, we haven't seen Alycia Baumgardner look all that impressive since she was on leave
For
amid
the
some
PEDs.
PED stuff
Yeah.
that she never got real discipline for, and that is still cloudy in terms of how that was handled, what actually happened, whatever. Lou DiBella, who promotes Christina Linardatu, who was on the receiving end of that fight, was very adamant about, hey, like this is a real drug. And I looked into it and we saw like, hey, what she tested positive for
Yeah.
was something that Alex Rodriguez had tested positive for, was something that a lot of cyclists had tested positive for and other athletes. So I was just like, I don't think this has been an impressive run for her to this point. And Delphine Persoon, I mean, Delphine Persoon had a knee brace. It was in front of like not that many people. It didn't look spectacular. Um, it just hasn't been great. I think the last time Alycia Baumgardner looked really impressive was
Terry
probably
Harper.
Michaela Mayer, maybe,
Okay.
but that was
Oh, but
debatable, that fight.
that was a very debatable fight. I think Alycia Baumgardner got it done,
Me too.
but at the same time, like I think Michaela Mayer could have an argument for that fight.
How well do you remember? Do you remember the Ella McKhalid fight from Madison Square Garden Theater? So this is when uh,
I'm trying to think.
Amanda Serrano fought Aries on the same card.
Okay, yes, and now I know
Al-
what you're talking about.
Alycia got a knockdown very early, and then she looked like gassed toward
Yeah,
the end, like really gassed. And that happened tonight again. It happened in the Jennifer Miranda fight. Like she gasses out at the end of some of these fights.
yeah. Her
So
conditioning isn't the best.
yeah, I just think she's more talented than her weight class, but I don't think she's unbeatable at all. Which brings us to Caroline Dubois, who looks sensational and who has looked good before, and honestly, too much action style fighting sometimes, but she's good. She's
Yeah,
legitimately good, and she fucking hurts you to the body as well. She landed a flush right hook to score a knockdown today. Like that's a really really interesting fight. Caroline Dubois,
she's
she
the
looks
real
legit.
deal. She's
Yeah.
the real deal. I don't think that's a layup for Alycia Baumgardner. I don't even think Alycia Baumgardner wins that fight unless there's some suspect shit going on. Just saying.
She's a lot younger than Alicia too. I didn't
Yeah.
realize that. She's 24. Alycia Baumgardner is 31. Yeah. So that's interesting. Y'all seem to think Dubois would win. And usually I would be like, yo, we're getting a little too hype off of a performance that was on the undercard. But no, again,
She looked good. She looked
there's
good.
there's some holes in Alicia's game that I think Caroline Dubois could really press the issue and get to. So that's that. I want to see this fight, and I think more of the MVP stable of ladies need to fight each other so that we don't get mismatch after mismatch after mismatch. They did a better job of this on the Katie Taylor Amanda Serrano 3 card, but I feel like we got some mismatches and more showcases today. So I'm hoping that some of these ladies end up fighting each other because they'll make some awesome, awesome fights. And you could also
Yeah.
have some competitive fights that draw rematches and things like that.
So is Dubois next for Alycia Baumgardner? Is that the fight to make?
Hopefully. I think so. I mean, so my question is, so she wins the WBC title, WBC lightweight title. The WBC doesn't want women to fight 12 rounds, 3-minute rounds.
Mm-hmm.
And Alycia vacated her WBC super featherweight title because she wanted to fight a 12-round fight. And the WBC is like, if you do that, we're going to strip you. And she was like, okay, I don't care. Same thing with Amanda Serrano. And they're trying to push, MVP is trying to push women 12 rounds, 3-minute rounds. That was like a big thing tonight.
Yeah.
I don't think this was the fight to necessarily like do that with, because from a matchmaking standpoint, I was like, I don't know about that. But at the same time, they should be allowed to do this. But there are a lot of people, detractors, who are like, oh, I don't know. And this feels like a tennis thing where it's like, how come the men get to do best 3 out of 5 and the women only could do best 2 out of 3? I prefer women's tennis than men's tennis, though. When men's tennis be too long. But anyway, what do you think?
I think it's I think it's one of those things where I need the 3-minute 12 rounds, because in a championship bout, I'm always left like, this is too close. There's been too many fights like that. Let's get to Tyrone the Great, because if you donate to the show, we get to you right away. Tyrone donated $10. Tyrone always donates, by the way. So Tyrone, we do appreciate you for doing that. This actually was not a bad night for boxing. Prelims was good. We agree. Main card was I'm not taking anything away from Joshua because Jake was running. I commend Jake for taking on the challenge. I mean, that's all fair.
Well said.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have no issues with any of that. Thank you for the donation as always, Tyrone. And anyone else wants to, please feel free. Shantelle, you were saying about a 12-minute, because that was a big topic tonight. It's like, and I don't.
This was the worst fight though to push that. So this was not an please, if you're in the chat or if you're watching this later, were you entertained by Baumgardner and Layla? Because I thought it was a snooze fest. I don't think it was entertaining. And there were parts of the fight where I thought Alycia Baumgardner looked gassed again, where she looked a little bit tired. And if you're going to try to push these 3-minute rounds, you got to make sure that fight is exciting. I think Amanda Serrano always gives you an exciting fight. For championship fights, I'm always left like, oh my God, this could go either way. And there's always some type of controversy. So for example, like, Katie Taylor, Amanda Serrano fights, I wish there were 3-minute rounds. I wish those fights were 3-minute rounds.
Mm-hmm.
For big championship bouts, I would like to see it. And just in women's boxing, I think I'd like to see it, but I don't think this was the best example tonight. Bryan.
So you would do it like, would you do it like MMA or UFC a little more specifically? Although MMA, where they have 5 rounds for title fights. Would you keep 2-minute rounds otherwise if it's not a title fight, if it's not a world title fight, like if you're just coming up, or would you just make all the fights 3-minute rounds?
I would make all the fights 3-minute rounds.
Okay.
Because I think you have to stay, like, it has to be consistent, right? And I don't like the idea of just 5 rounds for like a championship bout.
No. That's for MMA. That was the
okay. Oh, I thought you were saying, would you want that in boxing?
No, because MMA they'll do like 3 rounds for general fights, but then title fights would be 5 rounds, but 5 minutes because MMA is different, which makes sense. I've seen Lou DiBella go at it with people, like, as somebody who was like on the forefront of promoting women's boxing, but he's also said like he doesn't think they should have 3-minute rounds because of safety, where he's like, oh, like neurologically women, get like they'll concuss faster or whatever it is, and studies and things of that nature. So and he doesn't like the idea of equality in this aspect, and I see more men saying that, and I get uncomfortable about it for obvious reasons, because it just doesn't sound right. I think that clearly we have the talent pool now, at least at the top level, definitely, to have 12 rounds, to have 3-minute rounds. Now that women's boxing has gotten more advanced, and in 5-10 years is going to be more advanced, I don't think that this fight should dissuade that.
Yes.
Just because Alycia Baumgardner and just because it was a mismatch. We have mismatches in men's boxing all the time, including the main event tonight, where it was 3-minute rounds and it was a shit show. If Jake Paul and Anthony Joshua were 2-minute rounds, that would have been a decision.
Mm-hmm.
Because Jake Paul would have had more time to just run around the ring.
Yeah.
But I think if you're pro 12 rounds and 3-minute rounds, this should not push you off that. Like the Alycia Baumgardner fight shouldn't say, or shouldn't suggest, oh, this is why women can't do it. It's like, no, this is just a mismatched fight or a fight that just didn't go well. Like we've seen Amanda Serrano do this for 12 12 rounds and for 3-minute rounds. And I don't think everyone needs to fight that style either,
Yeah.
because that's like
it doesn't make sense for everyone to fight that type of style,
I
right? It's
worry
not for everybody.
I worry about her head injuries
Yeah,
because
and
of her
because
fight
Amanda gets
style.
hit a lot. Amanda's gotten hit a lot.
Correct. She has a new opponent, by the way, January 3rd, because speaking of PEDs, Erica Cruz popped dirty. A lot of boxers lately. Jaime Munguia, Subriel Matias, although he's going to continue. Obviously, Ryan Garcia earlier this year. More recently, Janabek, Erica Cruz. People are saying, oh, boxing has a PED problem. I'm like, no, I think they're just actually testing more finally.
Yeah, that's true. Let's get to some comments really quickly. Tyrone the Great says, I was not entertained. Dubois fight was better. Foxy says, Baumgardner fight, I fell asleep around 7 and sadly woke up around 8. So you
Also,
fell asleep like really quick. Okay.
but Foxy
Yeah,
sold the knockdown then.
yeah,
We
which
did see the
is
knockdown. So
yes. So there's that. Ryan Shepard said the last 2 rounds were cool, but it was pretty uneventful otherwise. Yeah, I definitely agree there as well. And this is going back to Foxy. Says, I'm sure Caroline was saying Baumgardner won't be next. So that's an interesting little comment there. Do you know why she said that? Or
well,
is Dubois set to fight somebody else?
maybe
Or
because
rumored?
remember, technically they're not in the same weight class yet. She has a WBC, and if Alycia Baumgardner is hell bent on doing 12 rounds and 3-minute
Yeah.
rounds, WBC is just not going to
They're
approve
not.
it.
Yeah, so I get that. Ryan Shepard also says, if Alycia fights Dubois, I think she loses. If she tries to move up, she probably gets beat by that woman who beat Ferreira. She's got a tough path
Oh,
either way.
Turkish woman, what the fuck? God damn it. Someone put her name in the chat. Oh, it's
Yeah.
on the tip of my tongue. Oh my God. It's not the one who should have won the gold medal last year in the Olympics and absolutely flopped. I don't even know if she turned pro yet. God damn it. I'm gonna find it.
Yeah,
But yeah, I know
please
who you're
do,
talking
please
about.
do.
I know who you're talking
If you're in
about.
the chat, drop it in the chat. But I mean, all in all, Brian, did you like that performance from Alycia Baumgardner? What would you grade it?
Here we go. Found her. Elif Nurturan. She knocked out Beatrice Ferreira, which was actually surprising. The finish and also the outcome, the way she did it. So yeah, this was 2 weeks ago, I want to say.
Oh wow, okay, I gotta check that out. I missed it.
No, she's nasty. She's not even the best Turkish boxer on the planet right now. What was your question? My bad.
It's really hard doing the show with you.
Thanks.
What would you grade Alicia's performance?
She gave herself an A+. I was like, really?
No, what would you grade Alicia's performance?
No, that's what I'm saying. I'm like,
Yeah.
I was surprised she gave herself an A+. B-. It's fine.
Okay, that's actually pretty high.
B-.
I mean, actually, I mean, come on, she did dominate.
Yeah, right.
She did dominate. I think just in terms of entertainment value, it wasn't there.
Look,
But she did dominate.
She didn't box poorly.
Yeah, no, she dominated though.
But yeah, like, someone I was watching the fight with, friend of the show, said this is Shakur Stevenson levels of boring. And I was like, you know what? She's right. So
it's crazy to say that. Alycia Baumgardner though, she's an exciting fighter. So I think I just expect more from her in those big moments. Like, you're the co-main. So I think I expected it to be a little bit more entertaining, and then also, just so much hype for this fight as well. But drop your comments in the chat. Let us know how entertained you were with the Alycia Baumgardner fight. Are there let's get to some more comments. Go ahead, Brian. You can read this one.
Foxy says Caroline Dubois said this. Baumgardner. Thank you for finding the quote. Look at journalism. Still alive. Baumgardner not next, but definitely down the line. We're still a little bit away from each other, not in terms of skill, but in terms of growth and what the fight can be. I was working during the fight and watching all the fights, so there were times where I had to mute it a little bit. So I might have missed that part. What I'll say to that is, and thank you for that, Foxy. That was very helpful. What I'll say to that is kind of, one, what I was saying before, but two, also like Caroline Dubois, look, when you got the 7-year age advantage,
that's a big advantage.
You don't got to rush into it. I get it. I totally get it.
Salome says, for the amount of trash she talks, she's buns. That's kind of funny. I don't think she's buns, but I think her entertainment tonight was kind of buns. But she dominated that fight. That was the fight where I'm like, yo, I think Layla might give her some issues. Nope. So give her props for that, I think. I can't hear you. You muted.
I was muted.
Yeah.
I was muted. This is BoxRex. Me this time. This is BoxRex top fighters right now, 130. And I don't know if there's anyone here where I'm like, yeah, they're definitely gonna beat. Although I think Elise Soto is gonna be a fucking monster. She just has to develop a little bit more, but she's
Can
not
I throw
ready
this
for
out
Alycia
there?
Baumgardner yet.
Yo, can I just throw this out there really quickly? I don't think this will happen because they're under MVP and they're two of the biggest names, but Amanda Serrano has fought at 130.
I want them to fight. Yo,
Thank you. Thank you. Because that,
you and I have been on this for at least 2 years.
yeah.
They should just fight each other.
That's one of the biggest fights to make in boxing, is it not?
But then they signed Alycia Baumgardner, and they've been like, on some girl power shit ever since. And it's like, yo, the biggest fight in women's boxing to make still right now is Amanda Serrano and Alycia Baumgardner. It is.
Yeah.
Because with Katie Taylor, I kind of feel like Katie Taylor has done it all. I don't even know what the next. I mean,
I think Amanda has done it all too, but I think if she wanted another big payday, and I think there's a lot of respect there between these two as well with Amanda and Alycia, I think they could make it. I think the only other fight to make it would be, Alycia and Clarissa, and I think Clarissa would have to come down and they'd have to meet like at a catch weight.
I'd watch Alycia versus Katie Taylor, but I don't think that's happening
No,
realistically.
and Katie Taylor can like just ride off into the sunset. Katie Taylor's done everything. But I just think Amanda and Alycia make sense to me.
I'm ready for Alycia to move up. Also, if she doesn't want to fight Amanda, and if because Amanda wants to be at her weight class, she's talked about wanting to be at featherweight. So okay, cool. So I'm ready for Alycia Baumgardner to move up. Also because I feel like there's we're good on the challenges here. By the way, the super chat. I think you should read that one.
Okay, Al the Pal, who is a friend of the show and always gives us Starbucks money. Could have met you at the Raiders Texans game, but you backed out. You know what it was? I'm not going to watch them get smoked by a championship defense. Not this year. And Gino's back. I'm not going to pay to see him.
Who are they playing this week?
Texans. They're playing the Texans in Houston, which I had initially planned to go to. I sold 2 of my tickets this year. I sold the one to the Browns, and I sold the one to the Texans.
I have a CJ Stroud start sit question.
I would start him for sure against
I worry
the Raiders.
I worry that he might only throw one half of passes because if you
against
know what I
that
mean,
secondary. No, oh, come on.
I guess it's him
against the Raiders secondary, Brian. Like,
you're right. It's him or Jordan Love against the Bears. And
I would start Jordan Love against the Bears.
Because he's going to throw more. Like CJ Stroud might be subbed off for the fourth quarter. That's what I'm worried about. Like they might be up by so much.
Yeah, but I think it's still going to be like a low scoring game. I think it's going to be like 34 and the Raiders will have like 3.
7. Oh.
No, there's not going to be a touchdown in this game against that Houston's defense.
That's probably.
I'm telling you, that's a championship defense. Like that Houston Texans defense is the real deal.
Houston and Denver have the best defenses I've seen this year.
Yeah. But yes. Anyways.
Anyway, so yeah, this is lightweight. If Alycia wanted to move up, and there's some shit here. Like we talked about Caroline, Elif is good. Shit, I think even Beatrice is still good. She got knocked out. Whatever. Holly Holm is on MVP now. Alycia Baumgardner versus Holly Holm is actually like kind of interesting matchmaking. I don't think they would do that. I think they want to build up everybody. And not try to feed one to the other. Stephanie Hahn is here also. Jessica Camaro, who's tough as shit. I don't think she'd win, but like she can do a little bit of the Jennifer Miranda shit and get nasty in there. So yeah, I think we've done it on this card.
You know who Alycia Baumgardner should fight, and I don't think she would win because I think she's maybe the best in her division. She'd have to move up. Is Shantelle Cameron?
She has to move up a good amount.
Yeah, I think Shantelle Cameron is one of the best women boxers in the world. And I don't know why she fights on undercards. Like, she's legit. Like, legit. And I'm just saying that. And I think Michaela Mara could fight her. Michaela Mara has moved up and she's looked good. And there should be a Alycia Baumgardner Michaela Mara rematch. Like, I don't know why that hasn't happened, but that needs to happen.
Up to 147.
She should fight. Her and Shantelle Cameron should fight.
Do we have any other thoughts on this card? Cherneka Johnson. Cherneka Johnson did work. Unexpected. Totally expected. Avius Griffin got a very nice knockout in his comeback fight. That was cool to see. We talked about Caroline Dubois already.
Yeah.
Jamal Harvey, who I talked about on the preview show. I think Jamal Harvey is going to be really good. We saw some of that tonight. He couldn't get Kevin Cervantes out of there, but Kevin Cervantes is tough as shit and has a chin. Anderson Silva. We should talk about Anderson Silva for like 2 seconds.
Yeah, how did you feel about that?
I bet my parlay was him to win and Anthony Joshua by knockout. Tyron Woodley should not we're good. I think we're good. I think we're good. I don't think he needs to box anymore. I think it's cool. I think Tyron Woodley should just do something else. Manage fighters, be a family man. I have no idea. Boxing was never really for him. And Anderson Silva's good. Like he beat
Anderson Silva, dude.
He beat Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. While Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. is a joke, he was less of a joke. He was less of a joke then than when he fought like Jake Paul.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. And Ken O'Malley won, who I told y'all I really, really liked and was in the Olympics, and I think he's gonna be good.
Yo, so Lomi, this is a pretty funny thing. Holly Holm looks pretty good for a 44-year-old white woman who's been in wars. It's true. I like it. She does. She's taking care of herself. Let's get to Ryan Hong, good friend of the show. Ryan Hong says Tyron Woodley boxing career somehow worse than his rap career. He needs to retire for real. Yeah. I think he does.
Actually true.
That's facts. That's straight facts. So I agree with you, Ryan. Any final thoughts, Brian, before we get up out of here?
Tony Harrison fights tomorrow?
I didn't know that. Who does he fight? I'm surprised right now.
Brian Chavez. This is a card on DAZN. You have a women's middleweight championship fight, Olivia Curry and Kay Scott. So we're definitely not doing a post-fight show for that. And then in Lagos, Nigeria, December 21st, Lawrence Okolie fights.
I will be watching that probably.
No, you won't. You're gonna be watching football. What are you talking about?
I'll have it. I can watch it after because I have DAZN.
Oh yeah, I just think you're gonna have Red Zone on. Are you in the fantasy semifinals in any leagues?
I'm in 2 of them.
So
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So 2 of them.
Yeah. Tomorrow I got my white elephant party, and I'm gonna be watching. Hoping that Josh Jacobs scores touchdowns because I went up against JSN this week.
Okay. Yeah. There we go. But nonetheless, I think I don't even know what we were talking about. It's getting late, guys. Any final thoughts before we want to get out of here?
I think we're good. I think don't know if we're doing a live after the Inoue fight because I might not be here. TBD. But we're at least doing one more show before the end of the year. We're doing awards. We want to do awards. We want
to. We're gonna do 2 because we are gonna do a recap of the Inoue fight. We'll do a recap of the Inoue fight at least. We're not just not gonna not talk.
No. Yeah. I'm saying we also have to do our awards. We will talk about it. Might be on the same show. It's entirely possible it's on the same show. Inoue does not fight this weekend. He fights the 27th. So you would hear from us maybe the 29th or 30th, Monday, Tuesday, something like that. And we'll have some updates on that. And I feel like we should update our pound for pound list, but we could do that in early January also. So
or we should do it at the end of the year because and you know what? Well, if you have any comments on what you want us to talk about in terms of content before the end of the year, drop your comments because we can get to that.
And awards ideas.
Yes. Drop your awards ideas in the chat. We'll try to get that all done before the end of the year. Thanks so much for rocking out with us on this Friday night. We hope it was a little bit better than what we saw there on Netflix. But I will say that we do appreciate you rocking out with us so late. And make sure to hit that like and subscribe button because that helps the channel grow. And Brian, I'll let you have the final words as I always do.
See you soon.